Welcome back to another episode of The Final Quarter. Today we have a special one in store for you. We have a man that has put in the work at every single level, from grinding it out at Glenville State and Peru State to chasing his dream in the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals, Cardinals, and Broncos, to making plays over in the UFL with the Arlington Renegades, to now bringing that same intensity up north with the Toronto Argonauts. This man's journey is unlike any others that I've seen. It's built on resilience, hunger, and a never give up attitude. We are talking about none other than Mr. Delonte Hood. Welcome to the podcast, Delonte. We are fired up to have you. Excited to dive into your story, your mindset, and what it takes to get to that next level. So I want to formally say welcome to the final quarter.
Appreciate you, Matt, for having me on here, allowing me to speak about this type of thing.
After I like to do deep dives in a little bit of every player that I get on here, and I've never seen a story quite like this one. And it all starts. You had you had 2 seasons at Glenville where you had 22 games total, 9 picks, 63 tackles, first team All MEC. That's no joke. And then you enter the 2022 NFL draft. You have your pro day at Nebraska, and you run a 4.3840, which was top five then and still top five now. So first question I kind of have for you, and I'll put up some videos on screen. Delonte is all about speed and mobility on his social media. So I want to ask you, is that like your main focus, and what are you kind of working on right now?
Um, I'm kind of working on a lot of things right now. Throughout my journey, I've always loved to work out, but like the past 2 years, I kind of dove into like a different type of training. Like, doesn't necessarily pertains to football, like every one of them, but they definitely help, and they help like overall physically. And that's like range of motion, speed,
Hmm.
like functional movements. I even like enter like gymnastics, the side of training that I do now. And yeah, it's like it's almost fun. That's why I can do it every day.
I
And
mean,
it,
Delonte, you play arguably the most one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult positions in football, and a defensive back and corner. So a little bit about your story in the pros. You were undrafted in the 2022 draft. You got picked up by the Bengals, played in all of those preseason games, and you played fairly well too. I mean, you had 6 tackles total, one PBU, and one fumble recovery in preseason. You had a great preseason, and then you get picked up by the Broncos. Same type of thing. Had an impressive practice against a future Hall of Famer and Russell Wilson. And then you go to the Renegades, 8 games, 19 tackles, and 6 PBUs, which actually led the league in PBUs. And now you're with the Argonauts in Toronto in the CFL. And when I say the CFL, people get that, that taste in their mouth and that impression that and they need to realize it's still a high level football. I mean, you have Andre Rison, Joe Horn, Warren Moon, Joe Theismann, Doug Flutie. You have a ton of Hall of Famers and legends in that CFL. So I kind of wanted to ask you, what is the difference as someone that played in all of these levels? What is that difference between the NFL, UFL, and CFL, if there is one?
um, I would say the NFL has high preparation. Um, the food there is obviously top tier. Uh, I want to say everything has come down to like minute details just from the places I've been in the NFL. And then the UFL is trying to mimic those things. And
Hmm.
I feel like they've done a good job because I was going to do UFL this past year as well, but when I'm coming to CFL. But I want to say maybe the coaches was the only thing slacking in the UFL as
Hmm.
far as like players coming in and then um, NFL players from the past
Mm,
that came in. It's a professional league and it still felt like professional football, but I felt like the only thing that was missing was coaches. So maybe the coaching changes that they made this year may help. Um,
hmm
and then with the CFL, it's like it's still football, but it's a different game, like rule wise, and just like
mm,
spacing and field wise, because you know the field is bigger,
yeah.
extra men, a lot of motion rules, but um, I feel like defensively is harder here, but
hmm
if you're able to hone in on your craft here, then and somehow make it, you know, back down south to the NFL, then it'll
hmm
help you drastically. So
Yeah.
yeah, the CFL and NFL is still like high professional ball in
Oh
my
yeah,
opinion.
for sure. And that kind of leads me into my next question. Every one of these rookies, it's always good to hear like a welcome to the NFL moment or like wow, I'm actually here moment. Especially with the Broncos, you had a chance to play alongside Defensive Player of the Year and Pat Surtain. Um, what was your kind of welcome to the NFL moment? Like holy hell, I'm actually here type of thing.
Um, I want to say I had a few times where I met people and it's like, dang, I'm actually here. I think when I was on the Bengals, and I mean, we were both rookies, but I think it's whenever I first got a chance to line up versus Jamar Chase.
Oh my God.
And it was like, dang, okay, I'm actually here. But, you know,
Yeah.
like I said, we were still rookies, but, you know, he was round one of the first picks, you know. And I think
hmm
whenever I seen Joe Burrow, I think Joe Burrow may have been a QB, but it was just like, dang.
It's a surreal thing. It's
Yeah.
100% surreal.
I think
And
another time would be whenever I met Russell Wilson. I
yeah,
was going versus him. So just those things. I think
yeah,
experiencing like an NFL crowd for the first time was crazy.
yeah.
But there's those
And
things like
especially because you had your run in the NFL, and I mean, you're still for everyone watching, he's still very young. Delonte is 25 years old. There is no doubt in my mind that he's gonna make it back. But you had incredible coaches to learn from too with Sean Payton and Vance
mhm.
Joseph, you know. Um, and I wanted to kind of ask you, is there a certain player, because you played alongside people too, we mentioned Pastor Tan, but you also had Buda Baker on the Cardinals, and even Cam Taylor Britt, if he was there. Is there someone that you kind of looked up to in the NFL playing alongside?
um Me and Pat were around the same age, so I looked to him as like a brother when I was there. And like
Hmm
I spent that was the most time I've spent with a player. Him, Justin Simmons.
Oh yeah.
Um when I was with the Bengals it was Awuzie, Cheeto
hmm
Awuzie. Um I kinda learned things from all of those players.
Yeah.
Uh and I have more like I would say friends on the Broncos. Well at least
hmm
like PJ Locke. I kind of looked up to him
hmm
like a role model type of guy.
Yeah.
Those guys um, definitely played a part in like you know learning from them and just tips and things like that.
Yeah. No, you played with a stacked amount of people. Um, Next, I wanted to move into to something that I've never actually seen anything like this, and it's actually your kind of backstory. When I started this podcast off, I wanted to, introduce people to his mindset and his background because it's unlike any others. So, Delonte, please interrupt me if I mess up any of this timeline here that I'm about to say,
Mhm.
um, because it's very important to get this right. So, um, Delonte, if I'm reading this right, your family did not have a lot of money, and
Mhm.
you left your house at the age of 13 years old and spent 4 years as a homeless teenager. If if I stop, it's because I get emotional talking about this. I got emotional reading it and writing it, so just hear me out. So, Dunbar High School in Washington, D.C. Your maintenance guy and one of your coaches helped you buy a tent so you could live under the bridge.
Hmm.
Is that correct? So, senior year came. You had no offers, and one of your coaches got you a spot at Glenville State. And where we said earlier, and I'll go through it again, your sophomore season, you had 8 picks, made first team, All Mountain State, and then you transferred to Toledo, played a year there, didn't work out, but then grinded it out at Peru State and played well enough to be on the second team. And then we went over it already. You weren't drafted, picked up by the Bengals, went through all the NFL stories. So my main question to you is, this is such a adversity, overcoming adversity story and a never give up story. What is kind of your mentality into like, why do you keep going forward and why do you keep trying? And if life just hits you with all these curveballs, what makes you keep moving forward?
Um, I would just say just like motivators, like just wanting more for myself, my family. Um, but I think the one that like above all of that will be the fact that, I will see a challenge and know that I can like reach it. Like I feeling like that I was meant to like reach it or meant to be there. And, you know, I even take that into like my training.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just always been my mentality. Like at first it was just, to make it out of where I'm from, circumstances
Mm-hmm.
I was in, and that alone like
Mm-hmm.
took me far. But then it was like other motivators came into play, like just wanting to be great or good or to reach something, and then like every time I reach a new goal, it's like, all right, what's next? So I just start
Mm-hmm.
learning that I'm just that type of person. So
Yeah. Do you think people are born with that mindset, or you think that comes through time?
I think so. Based on what I just said, I think maybe people are born with that mindset because, like I
Yeah.
said, you have factors like that you can't control, like where you're from, that you try to like get past, and a lot of people get past that, and then it's like they can't cling on to nothing else to motivate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But after a while, I like reflecting, it was like I know that I came from this, and it's still like I
Mm-hmm.
still think about it. But that's like it wasn't my like motivation, if that makes sense. My
Yeah.
motivation from something else, and it was just wanting to be like seeing the next level or whatever that was, and trying to be good or great there.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the best stories I've ever heard. I've been a fan of football for a long, long time, and I've never seen a story like this. And it's nice to see someone come out of it, and it's nice to see them keep moving forward. So that's why I wanted to bring that to attention. Um, what is your goal for this year and this coming season with the Toronto Argonauts and even moving forward?
This will be my first time since being at Glenville, having like a second shot at a team, and I feel like I have goals on being the top corner in this league, or like just doing so well schematically in our defense that I have success enough to get
Mm-hmm.
back down south. So whatever that takes, but I do
Mm-hmm.
want leave my mark here in this league this year.
I have no doubt about it. I did a deep dive on your social media too. You are one of the hardest working people I've ever seen. I have no doubt that you're going to make it back. I want to thank you so much for taking this time to do this interview because you are one of the most special people I've ever had on here. So I want you to really think about that and really digest that. You are an incredible person. I have no doubt that you'll be back in the NFL. Thank you so much, Delonte. Um, I got nothing else for you other than I'm going to be watching you, and I hope to have you on here again, okay?
I appreciate you, man.
No problem. I appreciate you, brother. Enjoy the day, okay?
You too.